And we're going to get married on that property.
Are Kalila and I invited to the wedding?
Absolutely.
We are going to go 100%.
Absolutely.
Right, babe?
It might be the only wedding I look forward to just because it's an anime sanctuary.
We're not having kids because one of my bucket list items was called the vasectomy Olympics.
It's tied up?
Yeah, it's snipped.
It's nipped?
You can
unsnip
reverse
it.
it.
You can extract from the balls.
Extract from the balls.
Yeah, you can't extract. I don't want to.
No, I think you should have children.
No.
Yeah. I honestly think you would be a great father. Listen, because look at how far you've come.
Sure.
No, shut the fuck up for a
You
second.
can't
all right?
expose children onto
No, because I believe in a divine,
Sure.
right? And it just popped. I'm not even thinking this, right? Some divine thing just said, convince him to have a child.
Okay.
Because I think that, number one, you have so much to teach a youngster. You have so much to mold. I think that you would create an incredible child that will help the world. I think it would help the world and influence the world and shift cultures. And I just think that it's important that you have a child, dude. You're going to have one.
Okay, I mean...
No, my God just said it.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. I also want to say one last question, all right? I want to talk about your teeth.
Okay.
All right? So, my teeth are all fucked up.
Yeah.
Right?
They look fine to me. That's the thing.
No, but you didn't see... it's the front ones you see.
Okay.
I have none in the back.
Okay.
Okay?
He has to chew with the front.
I have the two in the front.
Did you send me a text at one point saying, hey, I watched that teeth video? That
Yes.
you put up? Okay.
Oh, talk about not texting people.
Well, there you go.
Did I not text that?
One of the best texters.
You did.
Yeah.
You did, and can I tell you how much that meant to me?
Okay, and you're welcome. Okay? But I want to say that when I saw that video about your teeth,
Yeah.
it put me, like, again, with the, the bonding with the drugs and alcohol, I go, there's something else that we have in common, right? We have fucked up teeth. You were saying on the text, I think, that yours is way worse than mine. I'm pretty sure that's true.
I mean, the sad thing about my teeth, anybody with eyes can see that I have obnoxious fake teeth. What's not clear is that I've had 4 different fucking sets of fake teeth.
Why?
And then in the beginning, it was because they were broken. I broke them. And so then I got these crowns. The crowns were like the old old kind where you could see that black line at the top of them. They were just fucking awful.
Yeah.
And so once I had Jackass the movie come out, at a certain point, I was like, hey, I can afford it. I'm gonna get fucking better looking teeth.
Yeah.
And I was really happy about that. And then, because I think it's because I wasn't flossing. At one point, like the little triangle gum part.
Yeah.
Just one day they just fucking disappeared, and I had these huge empty black holes.
Oh.
And I was like, I had these huge empty black holes.
Is that where black truffles come from?
Right. I mean, dude, it was like it was all I could see. It was all I could see, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my god! And I went to the dentist. He was like, oh, nothing. You just gotta get fucking.
What do you say they were?
They're called papillas.
Yeah, fuck. You got the papillas.
Yeah, my
shit.
papillas disappeared, and it happened overnight. And so
wait. They just disappear overnight?
they were just fucking gone one day.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I had these huge, to me, like it's all I could see. And I was like, fuck. And they're like, all you can do is just get your teeth redone so that they can fucking close that gap.
Right.
So that was the next set. And then after that, it was more gum problems. And,
Gingivitis?
I've had gum graft surgery, and it just never...
What? You don't brush?
I do. It actually comes to a point where brushing too much actually will make your gums... I just have fucking terrible disposition for oral hygiene or oral health.
Great skin.
Your
Thanks. And now,
skin's great, yeah.
now I religiously take care of my just to preserve what little I have left.
Do you have bad breath?
Dude, I did for the longest fucking time, man.
Yeah.
And there are different kinds of bad breath. There are kind of innocent, sort of bad breath, where it's actually the breath.
Yeah.
And then there's that fucking insidious bacteria that just lives in the mouth. And it's not even the breath. It's just the bacteria just emanating from
That comes from your ball sack. That comes from deep down. Like
Well, what it comes from not flossing is what it is. It's,
well, they say like over time, like
sack.
bad oral hygiene causes heart problems,
Sure.
right? Because that bacteria then migrates
Yeah.
into the valves,
Right.
and you have mitral valve problems. So
sure.
gum health is directly correlated with heart health.
right. But it's not that the bacteria in your mouth is coming from within. It starts in your mouth and then it gets
Right,
into your
right.
bloodstream.
Comes
So it's
down,
the other way
obviously,
around.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Like, there's a certain type of breath that you
Yeah.
feel like comes
I
from
have
the
that?
pits of hell.
Do I have that?
It's not even breath. Like bad breath will come from like within. You know, it's
Yeah.
coming out of your lungs or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is bacteria that's just sitting in the mouth, like something fucking crawled behind your tooth and died, and it's just rotting and fucking, it's so bad. And the thing is that our society, it's so taboo, it's so not okay to tell somebody that they have bad breath.
Yeah.
And these people, this is the worst fucking thing about that kind of bacteria is that people who have it don't know that they have it.
Right,
You can't smell it on yourself.
right.
Right.
And nobody will tell you that you have it.
No, none of your Johnny Knoxville. No one ever said anything.
There was a time when I got in the van with all the Jackass guys, and I sat down, and Wee Man said, "Oh, dude, fucking Steve-O, your breath." And Knoxville's response to that, he just said, "Saying Steve-O has bad breath is like saying a Wee Man is short." Because it's all the time.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. And
What do you?
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the
Clear analogy.
Right. Of course it hurt. Of course it hurt.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand what the indicated action was to address it. That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Because I had experience when I was, I would say like 19, 20, like, and I was like this fucking homeless loser, and my mom periodically would allow me to stay at her house.
Yeah.
And when I
This
was
is before or after clown college?
before clown college.
Okay.
And I was, and I'd wake up, I'd brush my teeth, and then my mom would say, "Dude, your fucking breath's disgusting." I'd say, "Mom, I just brushed my teeth." She goes, "Yeah, your fucking breath's disgusting. I should have figured it out that it's no matter how much you floss, no matter how much you brush, you're not going to get to it unless you floss. Some people can get away with not flossing, some people cannot, and I was
Right.
one of the people that
Right.
cannot. And if anybody listening to this is wondering, do I have that? There's one way to tell for sure, and that's to take a piece of floss, dental floss, and put it through your teeth and run it through your floss a little bit, and then I'll smell the floss. And it'll be that way you can smell it. And if that fucking floss smells like a dead animal, then it's probably time to go to the dentist to get a professional cleaning, because if you're coming from a place with the bacteria, you're not just going to floss it all out. You have to go get like what's called a deep cleaning from the dentist.
Yeah, this is something like I've never understood about him. I get cleaning twice a year.
I get it every 3 months. I get it every 3 months, and I lean towards 2.5.
Right, and then you do your yearly X-ray, right? Where it's I've done
Sure.
that since I was a teenager.
Are your parents still with us?
Not my mom, but my dad.
Your dad's still with us?
Yeah.
Is he? When did your mom pass?
2003.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Was she? What? She was around when you became successful, or no?
She suffered an aneurysm in 1998, which was before I had any measure of success. And she survived that aneurysm, but she was very disabled, both physically and mentally. So she was technically alive when, Jackass came out, but she was very compromised, and it wasn't anything that, I didn't get to. It would have been so fucking cool to have her like on a red carpet, to have
Yeah.
Like,
Has your dad done those things?
Yeah, big time.
Is he? How proud is he of you?
He's super proud, super fucking proud. And Dad did not jump on the bandwagon like once I had become successful. It was actually.
It took a while.
It was specifically when my mom had the aneurysm, which was on October 10th of 1998. And from England, my dad flew. My parents had been divorced, but for this, Dad flew from England immediately. My sister and I flew in from New Mexico, where we lived together. We were all brought together. And it was like we went to a local restaurant, like from the hospital, just for a meal, and then we go back to the hospital and kind of like be there. Mom was in this critical situation. Well, we were at the hospital, or we left the hospital to go to a restaurant. I want to say it was like Ruby Tuesday or something like that, right? And outside this restaurant, it's the first time I'd seen my dad in some time, and he said, "Son, like now that we're together, I just want to tell you." That I feel badly. I feel that I've done a disservice to you by not supporting you in this career path that you've clearly committed yourself to. And I had not made a fucking penny at that point. I was fat. Yeah, I'm going to be fucking rad. I had nothing going for me. I had achieved jack shit. And Dad said that he felt that he had done a disservice. He said, I pledge to support you. It's not what you're doing isn't what I would have chosen.
Because he was a businessman, right? He's corporate, right?
Corporate, big time.
Like he was a president of a corporation?
Yep.
Yeah. It's mind blowing that your dad was this corporate guy and he spawned you.
Yeah, I know.
It's mind blowing.
Well, it makes sense. Like my mom's side of the family, every single leaf on the tree was alcoholic, gambling, suicide, like fucking super, super mental fucking like addiction problems. And then there's my dad's side where everyone's like theologian, fucking PhD. There's like nobody's not at least a PhD on my dad's side.
I just imagine your dad like getting up in the morning, when you were a kid, getting to work, putting the suit on, right? Walking by your room, and you're like the baby from The Incredibles, just on fire. You know what I mean? Turning into eyes. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that.
In my dad's family, he was like a black sheep for going into business because it was all scholars, fucking like clergymen. Like it was like fucking like the most like respected, not a lot of high earners, but just people who cared about making the fucking world a better place, and then dad's like a fucking businessman, becomes a corporate CEO, puts together all this, but whatever. So, I'm kind of exactly what you might expect if you took my mom's family tree and my dad's family tree and fucking mixed them together.
Yeah.
I'm like this alcoholic fucking deviant, but that's just got this unbelievable drive and persistence and tenacity.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, if my dad's gumption was directed like to fuel deviance, then that's me.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, at the end of our podcast, we do a thing called Unhelpful Advice. So people email us with problems.
I had a dumb question before we
Go
go.
ahead.
Please.
I have a question about pain threshold. Do things like paper cuts bother you?
I don't have any particularly special or different threshold for pain. I'm just simply such a fucking attention whore that I'm willing to endure it. And for that matter, if I didn't feel pain on any level, then there wouldn't be that reaction that makes the shot,
Right.
compelling. So there's like I'm just as afraid and I'm just as in pain as anybody else. I'm just an attention whore that's willing to put myself in that position. So that's why it's somehow like entertaining on.
Got it. The
I mean,
gumption.
I mean, like when you're like going in, I don't know if it was you. I think I have an image of somebody.
That's so funny. Sorry. Like, no. Oh, I got it. Yeah. No pain threshold. Just gumption.
That makes sense.
It's either you or somebody going into in front of crocodiles. Swimming through crocodile. Have you done something like that?
Yeah, the alligator tightrope.
Right. So yeah, now that kind of fear, though, don't you think you're might die? In your head, you don't think could die.
I didn't think I was gonna die, but I thought that I could lose a large chunk of flesh.
And so when normal people go, I could lose, my calves.
Yeah.
Or I can lose a shoulder, right?
Right.
We tend to go, yeah, I like attention too, but there's other ways of doing it. You know what I mean?
I know. I honestly, I don't have an excuse or an explanation.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Or when you snort wasabi,
Right.
right? You've done that, right? What does that do to the mind?
I don't know that it did anything to the mind, but it was actually rather I thought it would be way worse. And
Right.
and my nose just didn't give a fuck at that point. I knew this podcast, like I mean, it hasn't come out yet, but I think it's going to be a fucking hit. I came in here feeling like,
Yeah.
I really believe
Dude,
that.
well, first of all, we've gone longer than we've ever gone. All right. What were we at?
We're at 90 minutes.
Yeah, we've never gone that far.
I've never gone that long.
We usually do an hour.
We
How
do an
about
hour.
that? All right.
Yeah. So that's how I know that it's been interesting, and I have so many more questions, but I'm kind of
Ask them on Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast.
when I do it.
I love
this
that.
is one more question I had
Go
for
ahead.
you. So you and your fiance, Bobby, and I think that you guys are goals for sure. But the one thing that we found that we've talked about on this podcast before is that anytime that we've tried, Bobby and I have tried to post a sort of explicit photo of us together, it gets yanked.
Okay.
But for some reason, any one of yours stays up. So we've had an envy.
Okay.
I get so angry
Wow.
because I'll go, "What the fuck? Ours got yanked," but I'll go to yours and I go, "I see this guy's asshole right now."
We got one yanked.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we got one yanked, the one where we were in the window.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Because it looked like we were actually having sex.
Yeah.
How long was it up for?
That it lasted for ages, and then like weeks or months later, all of a sudden it went down.
I have a theory on it.
No,
I think that we're not good looking enough.
no.
It's not that. And if you see, I just posted one yesterday. I blur the butt crack. That's the secret.
Is
to
that the key?
success. Yeah. If you look at the second to last post, the last post was the one I posted while I was driving over here. It's me and the fire chief holding up the big check for $50,000.
Yeah.
And the one before that, you see blurred butt cracks.
But the one with me and Bert Kreischer,
Got yanked.
completely naked, but we're covering our genitals and we're just laying side by side. We both posted it at the same time. Kreischer's got yanked in 10 minutes. Mine
buried him. It was horrible. And so I didn't have support, anything, and I just started, smoking pot and
that's all you did.
No, I started taking pills and Ambien, which is dangerous for me. A lot of people do. This is the thing in California. Oh, I'm sober. I smoke pot. For me, I counted days. That's not sober for me. That's not sober for me.
Definitely not.
I know
Definitely
for
not.
you too. This is
Yeah.
what you and I talked about.
Yeah.
So I had to start over. It killed me, but I had to start over in day 1, day 2, and so now I have a year and 7 months, and
Awesome.
I work a very strong program.
Awesome.
I have a sponsor, and I go to meetings, and I sponsor someone, and I, whatever. But I'm a bad addict. I'm a garbage can, and I'll do whatever I can do to get high, whatever it is. No matter, it doesn't matter. I haven't had a drink in 22 years.
Yeah.
Alcohol is just not my thing, but
Yeah.
pot, like you and I have talked about.
Well, that was the thing I would say that drove me back in sobriety. And I think when people hear that, they go, well, how?
I know.
Do you eat too many Cheetos? I mean, whatever that might be. But it's like, it's all mental with me. Right?
Me too.
Right. I started going crazy in my mind.
Me too.
Right.
And people are like, well, you haven't had a drink in 22 years. What's
Yeah.
the big deal? I'm like, you don't understand. If I smoke pot,
Yeah.
I smoke pot 24 hours. I will get up to pee and smoke 17 bong hits.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
Me too.
okay.
Me too.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll eat 46 gummies and take 5 Ambien. Like
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a drug addict.
One time I went, which is a store by my house, and I walked in, and the guy that worked there, he goes, "Again?" And it was like embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was there the day before and the day before that.
I think you told me that you
Yeah.
stopped going to 2 different dispensaries because they were legitimately like worried about you.
Yeah.
Because they would look at him and be like, dude, that's.
Yeah. Didn't you say somebody called you from a dispensary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And said, we're worried about Bobby. Like,
They would.
when dispensaries are
they would
calling
DM
friends
me.
going, we're worried,
No,
there's a problem.
I would get DMs.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just so you know, like Bobby's relapse.
Yeah.
Like before you even told me.
Yeah. Can I also say something about, like, on the edible, just give me a dosage amount.
You need instructions.
I need instructions because I take the whole thing.
It's
You know what I mean? Like if there's 16 gummies that come in a thing, they're gone in an hour.
holy shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to know like 1 or 2 every other day.
You weren't gonna.
I know I wasn't, but I wouldn't take 16. I don't think.
You would have.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And you know, with pot, it's so hard because it's very frustrating because people go, "What's the big deal? It's only pot." It's like, no, it is a fucking big deal. Like it's heavy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and don't I hate when people say to me like, "Why can't you just have a little pot?" Because I can't.
Yeah.
Don't ask me that. I'm an addict.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't have it.
Yeah.
I can't.
You and I are so similar. In
It's
so many.
really
It's
yeah.
really weird.
It's like, don't ask me that why I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
You know, and they want you to. I think a lot of people want me to smoke pot or to eat edibles. Like, they really want me to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Like they want me to so that they can do it and feel okay about it because they're addicts.
Yeah. There's also a group at the store
Yeah.
that when I went out, I was doing weed with them.
Yeah.
But now that I'm sober, I can see them
Yeah.
forcibly distancing themselves from
Of
me.
course they're going to do that, Bob.
But they're not doing it, I don't think, because they just don't want to, I guess, like, you know, entice me or they're just trying to be cool or whatever.
Of course.
But it's like, you could say hi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't want to entice you. And also, you know, a lot of people who know they shouldn't be using,
Yeah.
you know, we've been through
Yeah,
that.
we've been through that. Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
They don't they know they shouldn't be using. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't really want to hang around with sober.
Yeah, yeah. But I crossed lines I never thought I would. Like, you're never going to smoke pot and act in a show.
Yeah.
And here I am, high, on a set, you know what I mean? Not knowing my lines
I know.
and being scared
Yeah.
and going, what the fuck is going on? Like, things like that. It's so scary. But you know what's good about us, though? We have high bottoms nonetheless, though.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Right?
Do. Yeah.
Like, I don't lose everything. You know what I mean?
No.
Once I see, I can foresee into the future, right? So I'm like, okay, every day for the last 2 months, I've been acting like this. I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to be doing this, and I can see slowly things fall apart.
Me too.
You can, right? So
Yeah.
we nip it in the butt before we lose it all. Is that what you do?
100%.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm lucky because I've actually saved myself where I'm like, here we go. This is not going to go well. I mean, the last time I did have my therapist and my wife and my mother like say, you have to, like, this is it. You got to go get some help because this is not going very well. Like, you're falling asleep with like chips on your
Yeah.
You have like Tostitos hanging out of your fucking face. And
Yeah.
This is not going very well. We gotta.
For him, he was getting these like what he called his tundra attacks, where he would just freeze, like his body would be shivering. And I think it was like one night at like 3 a.m, he was like this, like just
In the
standing-
dark,
in
just
the
standing-
dark, like this,
Just frozen.
and he was like, "Am I moving?" And I had to.
Am I moving?
I thought I was running, but I wasn't.
And he's like,
I was just frozen.
"Yeah, can you help me?" So I had to touch him to unfreeze him.
Yeah. It was like
freeze tag.
It was like freeze
Freeze
tag. It
tag.
was like a weird game. But I literally could not move. Like I was
Yeah.
so frozen.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, and also my psychiatrist said, you know, there have been studies when people have the kind of life I've had, trauma,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That when you smoke weed, it does the adverse effect, right? So it doesn't make you sleepy or, you know what I mean, or hungry. For me, I couldn't sleep and I couldn't eat.
That's what happened with me. I stopped smoking weed years ago because in the beginning it was fine, and then I just started becoming more and more paranoid.
Yeah.
And then I would get severe panic attacks. And then it dawned on me, I was like, okay, like I'm a child of extreme trauma and unresolved trauma. I shouldn't be kicking the dirt up in here, you know, with anything like psychoactive like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just don't know what I'm kicking up, and I would have really extreme panic attacks.
Have either one of you ever done trauma work?
Yeah.
Okay, because I did. When I relapsed, I went away and I did major trauma work. I went to a trauma center,
I don't want to know where it was, but what state was it in?
Florida.
I went to Arizona.
Okay.
I went to a place specifically for trauma.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Because of my dad and whatever. and I did some heavy duty work.
Yeah. EMDR.
Yes, I did. Well, I did ART, which is the same thing, but
Same
in
thing.
one session at a time.
Wow.
This is hilarious. I did equine therapy. Have you ever done that with a horse?
He hates equine therapy.
Oh my God!
What is it?
I love equine
I was
therapy.
so traumatized because the horse had a hard on. And it was the most traumatizing thing ever. And besides that, it was 150. I was in Florida in August. So the horse's cock was this big. Its leg was bleeding.
Yeah.
The horse's leg was bleeding, and a fly flew in my ear.
Yeah.
So in my ear was in my ear, and I was like, "Get me the fuck out of!" I'm like this Jewish girl from New Jersey. Like I had just gotten there. I was so traumatized.
But if the horse had like a beefy like vagina, would that have traumatized you?
Oh no, I would have like gone down. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm fisting myself.
Would you say you identify as being crypto curious?
Can I just do a theme song real quick?
Yep.
Coinbase. Okay, go ahead.
Sweetie,
Yeah.
thank you for your song.
Thank you.
Now, would you say you identify as being crypto curious?
I am crypto curious. I'm fully bored.
Well, if you've thought about entering the world of cryptocurrency, but feel a little bit overwhelmed, like my lover Bobby, Coinbase makes learning to buy and sell really simple. And I'm kind of a dum-dum with this stuff, but with Coinbase, it sort of just
You are
makes
dumb.
everything very, very simple. The interface is really easy to work with. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy-to-use platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency.
You're smart. They support the most popular digital currencies on the market and make them accessible to everyone. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto all in one place. On Coinbase.
For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/belly. Sign up at coinbase.com/belly for $10 in free Bitcoin.
This offer is for a limited time only. So be sure to sign up today. That's coinbase.com/belly.
Say it again.
That's Coinbase.
Say it again.
That's coinbase.com/belly.
And we all used Coinbase long before they were a sponsor. Clyde and I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had Coinbase forever. Ever since
I have it too now.
a couple years ago, George, when you were like, "Don't be dumb, get Ethereum."
I had
was
15
like,
years ago, before you.
Yes, Coinbase. all
Before
the
it wasn't even a
way.
thing, I did it.
Bobby's a pioneer. He's been had Coinbase.
I do rubies.
No, it's super easy to use. It's like one of the easiest way to get into crypto if you want to.
Yeah, no, it was like, but I did a lot of like breath work, which is heavy, and pounding pillows and fucking, it was good work.
Wow.
I mean, I felt really good after doing
So I think that's also our similarity. So what did your dad, how were you traumatized as a kid? Do you
Oh,
want to get
bad.
you
No,
wanna talk
it's
about,
grim.
can we talk about-
My dad. Wow, my dad was the funniest person I've known. I mean, that's a huge statement. I've met the most famous comics in the world, but
Yeah.
I got my sense of humor. He was brilliantly funny, but boy, did he have a temper.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like if he was pissed, he wouldn't even say anything, but he would just slam his head into a cabinet.
Wow. Yeah.
Like just hit his head, or just when he would scream, he would actually start singing. Like that's how insane. Like, I don't like the way
yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
Screaming, and yet like, his veins would, so it wasn't, I didn't get hit, but just screaming fucking rage.
Yeah.
And there was, cursing and name calling, and it was a lot. It was a lot. But he was also the one who was there for me, who took me to doctor's appointments. Like he was the one who showed up. So it was very confusing and hard. He really.
Well, he probably had his own trauma.
He
that
did.
He never dealt with it. It's
Major.
generational.
My grandmother was not great. It was. So it was tough, and it was scary.
Now, is Zach your older or younger brother?
So Zach Braff is my stepbrother.
Your stepbrother.
Yeah. So I had once an older sister growing up, and I had my both parents. They got divorced. My mom got remarried to Zach's father, and there were 4 kids. and my dad got remarried to a younger woman, and they had 2 kids.
So did you grow up in your dad's house or your mom's
Both.
house? Both.
So
you go back and
I went
forth.
from house to house. And my mom was a therapist. My mom still is a therapist.
Oh, wow.
And she, wasn't around a lot. She was helping other people. So my dad really showed up and took care of me a lot.
Yeah.
But it was confusing because my mom was out helping the world. And meanwhile, we were home kind of like, the kids that took care of ourselves, and she's like taking care of other people. It was
That is
a lot.
confused. That was what was most confusing about my childhood too, is that my mom was our primary caretaker, but she was my primary abuser. So it
I
was
know.
the most confusing part of it is like she's putting food on the table. I can see that she really is doing her best.
Right. He did his
But
best.
She just is, she doesn't know how much pain she's actually like inflicting. She just she's unaware.
Yeah, he did the best he could from what he knew, and
Yeah.
he was great a lot of the time. But when he was off, he was really off, and it was bad. There was a lot of name calling, and my self image really suffered from it. Bad.
Yeah,
because it was a lot about looks. A lot.
Ah.
There was a lot of name calling and weight stuff and,
Yeah.
fat this and bad words. And boy, it really, and it caused me, I got very, very heavy as a kid to piss them off. Both of my parents. I blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you want to call me fat and whatever? I'm going to be the blueberry girl. Like, I'm going to fucking blow up. I'm serious. I joke about it in my act. 'Cause I'm like, call me fat bitch and this, whatever. I'm going to fucking become 300. I mean, I really got.
Yeah. I mean, I did the same. I mean,
I was like, hi, mom and dad.
yeah.
Yeah. And they couldn't even look at me.
Yeah.
They got pissed because that was my way of being like,
Wow.
fuck you.
Wow.
And kids do that.
Yeah.
You get negative attention. It's some kind of attention.
Yeah. Well, like what I got, like, as a kid, like maybe a B and a C, and my dad took a fucking golf club and just beat me because I didn't get A's, right? So I got straight F's from then on.
Right.
Same
The
thing.
same kind of thing.
Like, I was always like, yeah, well, fuck you.
Yeah, me
right?
too.
All the other kids, my cousins and stuff, right? They all got straight A's, and they all went to Ivy League schools. But every once in a while, a kid will go, nah, I'm going to go the other way.
I was the opposite. So I walked a very, very straight line because she beat me into having straight A's. I was too afraid to get the F's because
Yeah.
I was plucking wire from my mouth because she, punched my braces into my.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
So I was
I'm so
just
horny.
Tell me more.
How much blood? How much blood?
I just making her. I knew it would make her laugh. Wait, what about the water?
Does that wait? Who
Wait,
does that?
you
Who
wanna-
does that in a?
I got
rubbing their nipples like that. Does that feel good?
This?
Yeah.
Of course not.
That would
It
throw
really
me
should be
off.
like- it really should be like this.
Oh, right.
I got one better for you. When I first came to America, I got fisted by my family doctor.
Oh my
Oh my God.
Wait, I thought you were gonna do the next thing harder.
That was too much.
That's
for
a little
her.
too dark.
Oh, you guys thought I was gonna turn everyone on in the room.
That got weird.
No,
That's sad.
That
no,
got
it didn't
weird.
get weird. I talk about it. I was molested in fat camp. Does that make you feel better?
Yes, it does.
Was it a camp counselor?
Yeah.
Was he fat as well?
No, I
Oh.
think he was turned on by fat kids.
Oh.
I do too.
Yeah. You did?
I've always been with like I love plush. Plush is my thing. I don't like. I'm not a slender. I'm not attracted to slender people.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen you date hot guys though.
But never in long-term relationships. Think about it.
Right.
All long-terms have been with plush types.
So when you're in LA, do you see Zach at all or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
proud of him?
I normally stay with Zach in his guest house, but his whole guest house and everything. He's editing his movie that he made with Morgan Freeman and
Wow.
Molly Shannon and his girlfriend with Florence Pugh. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Back in the day when he got Scrubs and all that, were you proud of him?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
he was
yeah.
a child actor, so he was auditioning every day.
Oh,
I mean,
I
he
didn't
was.
know.
People think he just like got famous. He was like really going on auditions daily as a little kid.
He's really, because you're such a nice person, he really is a nice guy.
Yeah, he
I
is.
really
isn't
like
he?
him. He's such a nice guy.
He is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a really good person.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
can
he's
tell-
funny as shit.
Yeah.
And he's so talented. I mean, the kid. When he did Garden State, he was like in his 20s. It's crazy.
It's
he
crazy.
wrote it, directed it, starred in it.
Best soundtrack.
It's been not over. It's not over. I mean, in the sense that, I want to say that Kalila is the love of my life, my best friend. If there was a book about my life, she would be. If there was 10 chapters, she'd be 4 of them at least, 5 of them.
Give me half.
I'll give you half a chapter. Yeah.
For half the book.
She changed my life in so many different ways. She reinvented who I was. And and the reason why we're announcing that is because there are things that people believe online that aren't true. And I want to address those things because it's causing a lot of pain in our house. And I'm going to start with my part in it. And my part is this. Years ago, Kalila had this heart condition. And it started in the Philippines. And we were in the Philippines, and I had to carry her into a taxi, and we thought she was going to die. And, after that, at home, we just would have the ambulance at our house 2 or 3 times a week. We'd always constantly go to the hospital at 5 a.m. And at that point in my relationship with her, I changed a bit, and it became, I was just worried about her, keeping her alive. And I think that it shifted the relationship, you know what I mean? A lot of the sexual stuff that I felt before that had diminished, and it became more of a caretaker. Not caretaker, I just say it's a terrible word to use, but like I was extremely worried about her. And when you're in that kind of situation, a lot of that energy, and it changes the relationship, at least, And then I began to fantasize about other women. I would watch porn every single night. And, and this is over years of this. And I just distinctly remember there were moments where we would sit down and she would be crying, going, "What happened with us? There's no intimacy. I feel like you don't know me anymore. I want you to get to know me again." And a lot of times I would do false promises like, "Trust me, I'm just going through a phase," or "I'm working on it," or whatever. And I would, basically shrug it off and tell her that we're going to deal with it in the future or whatever it might be. But this is years of this. I mean, in fact, there were times where she would plan vacations so that she could rekindle some of the magic that we had lost. One time we were in Hawaii to do that. It was the first time I went to Hawaii that wasn't a work-related thing. And I think we tried, and it looked optimistic maybe sometimes, but I don't know. I have to say that a lot of it was my fault. And I was in therapy talking about it. We did couples therapy and stuff, and so it eventually got to the point where obviously people have needs, and she had needs, and we didn't know what to do because of many things. Number one, like I said, we literally are best friends. We spend 24 hours a day together. We created Tiger Belly together. We have other things that we want to do. We have 7 animals. We live together. Her niece lives with us. We're a family, and there's a warmth in the house, and it feels like a family, like I said. But it got to the point where it's like, what else? If I'm not going to change, and I'm not, and I trust me, I tried. So it got to the point where I was like, we threw out suggestions and things that would, I was mindful about how Kalila can maybe, get her needs fulfilled, right? And I threw out suggestions, maybe you should see somebody else, you know what I mean? And, I said it a couple of times. I also want to address something that happened with my brother. And this is a very sensitive thing for me. Anyone listening to Tiger Belly and are familiar with our podcast knows the things that have been going on. You know what I mean? It's been a nightmare, So essentially, my brother said some things to a random person that were not true. He has, to me personally, apologized, for me, and I think he knows his mistake, but I don't know fully, how he feels. But essentially, he said things like, Kalila was a gold digger. I have to say that to people listening, that, when I met Kalila, I had no money. I was making, I can tell you what I was making on the road. I had no other prospects of cash. The only amount of money I was making is through doing A, B room sometimes and getting not a door deal, but getting like, a guarantee, So it's not, I mean, compared to all my peers and stuff, really. And when I met her, she kind of reinvented my thing. I made my money with her. She has her own money, right? All the things that I have in my life, right, is a direct result of meeting her and her and I building a business together. Other things have grown out of that, like it rekindled my acting career. I've done well when it comes to selling things and whatnot. It's been very good, but without her, I don't know where I'd be. So him saying that she's a gold digger is not true. She's not. She's never asked for anything. And he said things like she's keeping, me from other people, or something like that, and during the pandemic, we didn't see anybody. I'm tired of people thinking that I don't make my own decisions. Everything that I do, I make my own decisions. I'm Bobby Lee. I do what I want, right? And during the pandemic, I was super fucking scared. I didn't know anything about this virus. I didn't leave the house for a year and a half. I didn't even go to the grocery store for a year and a half, right? And I didn't see my brother. You know what I mean? I didn't see my mom, right? I didn't see anybody, right? And I think that my brother thought that was, me disappearing, or something was going on, that was like, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, with all that stuff that he said, I don't know if you guys, even if people even listening knows, but he had texted some random person his gripes that were absolutely unfounded and not true, and people have taken that and ran with it online, and it's really hurtful to Kalila. It's hurtful to me, and I just wanted to address it. So just and another thing that I want to add is, I was blatantly flirting with other people, and there was things that she caught me in that were like, kind of, it took her aback that I did some lying, you know what I mean? And there were things that, none of this was like an anomaly, or is that the right word? Or, you know what I mean, out of nowhere, you know what I mean? It's a reaction, right, to my behavior. I've done a lot of growth in the last 6 months and changes. I put some hard boundaries down, and I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you, what people think. I don't give a fuck. And the people that are saying shit about me and this, go fuck yourself. I mean, because you don't know. This is my personal life, and this is our life, and it's like, they're being very mean toward Kalila, and I've had enough of it. It's unfounded, not true, and she's a good girl, and I love her very much, and I wish people would stop. I really do. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell for me. I love Kalila. I love my brother as well. He hurt me. He hurt me. It was painful. That being said, I know through time things will heal, but here's the good news. We're not stopping Tiger Belly. We're not. We're good. We're good. We're not stopping. I'm never going to see anybody else in my life.
You know that.
I have no interest.
Well, you a priest?
You don't know.
I have no interest. I really have no interest. You know what I mean?
We just need
I'm a-
time to heal. You don't know that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm not compromising. You know what I mean? I'm not going to watch your movies. I'm just telling the future. If there was a future, I'm not going to go to your restaurant. I'm going to eat what I want to eat.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to listen. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm going to play 20 hours of video games if I want to and whatnot. And so that's that.
But if you have a real interest in
I have no interest.
dating
I have no
Bobby,
interest in any of that.
No, I'm just telling any girl.
I'm not
out there
listening.
who's a good
I will
girl.
not listen. I will not cuddle. I will not cuddle. I will not listen, and I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm not doing any of it. It's not who I am. So that's that. This has nothing to do with, you know what I mean, anybody else or my desires or whatever. It has to do with preserving Tiger Belly. Kalila and I work great together. We have great ideas. We're producing another thing together. We're going to do a book. You know what I mean? And I'm super excited about the future of my business here. We have a great family, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
It's my go.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Kalila?
Yeah, I just I'm sad, but I love you, and that's it. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I just don't want to say it. This podcast has changed my life. I never thought that I could ever dabble in anything creative. That question earlier when you were like, what's one thing your younger self would never believe?
Yeah.
Is that I would even be allowed, or that I would allow myself a creative outlet, And yeah, this podcast has changed my life, and even though difficult, there isn't a moment of regret that I spent 10 years of my life with you. You're so much better at talking. I'm just I don't know why I just can't talk. But yeah, there isn't an even tiny bit of regret that I spent the last 10 years of my life with you. or that I gave you my firm skin years. I'm a little salty about that.
Yeah. You look great, baby. Yeah.
And I'm sorry that
Hit the road.
Yeah. Hit the road. You look great, baby.
Good luck out there.
I have so much I don't know, it's kind of like this weird thing that we made, you know, and I want to keep going, and I want to funny enough, I think that we've never been closer. Like
We've been talking.
like almost like every day, like since
Yeah.
we decided to kind of like let go of the label. We've just been, I don't know, able to hang out more, be more truthful with one another. We're not trying to like mince each other's words to try to like protect each other's feelings. We're just being really like blunt and honest and open, and it's been so much more fun being around each other. And I don't know, I just want to thank you guys for sticking around, and I hope that, you know, you continue on this journey with us.
Oh, they will. They will, because you know, I kept telling Kalila this, and I want to reassure you, both of you, right, of the magic of it is like that Saturday night when we did the live show at the Ace Theater, right? There is something there that I kind of got, you know what I mean, why we do it and why we need to keep doing it. We're not the most popular podcast in the world. I don't think we ever will be. You know, like we're never going to be a Joe Rogan. We're never going to be a Segura probably, or any of these other ones, right? But I'm okay with that, because the people that do listen to us are like-minded, and I can't be anything else, right? That's the thing. This is the first thing in my life. Yeah, I always try to fit into these, like, I'm on a sketch show, so I got to learn these characters. You know, I was like fitting into these environments the best I could. You know what I mean? Or if I'm on a sitcom, like, you think when I'm on Sex and the City or whatever that I'm myself? No, I'm this Christian. I show up and go, hello, Sarah. How was your night? You look great today. I mean, I'm like not who I am, right? But in this environment, this is essentially give or take what I am or who I am. You know, I fumble words. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's who I am. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's the easiest thing to do, right? And it doesn't give me heartache. It doesn't give me stress. It's the most enjoyable thing that I've ever done in this business. Okay. And so we have a good thing here. And I'm not going to let anyone tell me different. You know, I'm not going to let people online try to destroy us. And they're not going to do it. We're going to keep going. And hopefully we'll grow a little, you know, and we're fine. I think we're fine.
Where are you guys on this?
Yeah, let's hear your views.
I think I'm definitely sad. I think I've talked to both of you different times throughout this whole process. So I think I've already been processing it, where not even worried about the podcast if it were to ever end, which I know it wouldn't. You guys have talked about
You're
that.
fired.
Okay. George, go ahead. No, it just makes me, I think I already grieved you guys together as a couple. But I've also seen, like, I see a lot that people don't see. And I think you guys were unhappy for a while. And it really, really, I don't know. I just saw the pain from both of you at times. And I was like, fuck, like, I want you guys to be together forever. Like the audience does. Mama and Papa forever. But it's like, Mama and Papa aren't doing well when they're together right now. So I think that you guys made the very important decision to do this. And it saddens me that you guys aren't together. But knowing that you guys are on this way to just being way happier individually is, I guess I look forward to that. But sadness.
But you know, what's changed though? I mean, we sleep on the same bed together.
He doesn't want to let me go, you guys.
Yeah.
You think free Bobby? Free me.
Yeah. She's not
has
leaving.
me
She's not
hostage.
leaving.
Merch.
I've literally been like,
She's not
I'm
leaving.
looking for another place to live, and he's like,
No.
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 He's not allowing me out.
No, because it's just, what's changed?
Nothing.
Yeah. You're stuck forever.
He's been
I'm
okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I know,
yeah.
but I think that because we've been operating in this way for a really long time, like we didn't grow apart, not even in the slightest. If anything, we just grew closer, but grew closer as like family, right?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, my mom and him are like best friends. You think we're best friends? No, he's best friends with my mom.
Here's the thing that I won't. Here's another thing, is her family is essentially my family. I love every single one of them. Like my own flesh and blood, and they're always going to be a part of my life. I love them that much. So. But it's interesting that you haven't expressed anything, George. I really need you to be like emotional and clear, because I think Gilbert did it. You know what I mean? But I heard nothing from you. So go ahead. Here's your
Because I
moment.
never want to interrupt you.
So gross. Go ahead. Inocente, bud.
No, I just like to see you guys and want to see you guys happy. And like, it's always, I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of pain going on in the background. But when I come in here, like, lately I haven't seen the cloud as much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah, I obviously care a lot about both of you. And yeah, I see what like other people don't see. I see what we cut out of here, and whatever makes you guys happy. I don't know. I just care about you guys so much, and right now, yeah, we've made a great show, and like I think like you guys we'll hang out. Like Bobby doesn't hang out after the shows sometimes, like, and nowadays lately you've been hanging out afterwards.
Yeah.
And there's like
It's different.
Yeah, I want to, it's interesting. I think it's odd. I don't know why, but I just have more of an interest in your lives, both of you. I don't know why that is, but I just do.
We really have like straight up changed, Bobby.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you text people back, like not the same day, but like the same minute you received it
Well,
back.
Dominic Monaghan, I've been kind of not texting him back.
Would you like to admit why?
No, I have no reason why. I was so busy that like
reason
I have no reason why, and I feel bad about it. I love the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a fan, and I'm a friend. So I should text him more back. Eric Stonestreet got mad at me for not texting him back too. So he sent me a video. I saved it of him eating a Korean lollipop, and he's like, "Whenever I eat a Korean lollipop, I have to record and send it to you." I don't know why he did that.
That's
but
not racist. Yeah,
he did that. It's not racist. But my point is that I've been trying to, but I don't know. I just have more interest, in your life. Especially when I saw your son too, that was really interesting to me. Congratulations! What a cute boy, and I'm proud of you.
So do I have to give you guys individual wedding invitations, or can I still put Bobby and Kalila as one?
Dude,
I'd like my own.
Okay.
do you know that we're going to the Philippines in September?
Yeah.
Bobby and I and all of
guess
us.
we're all going
'cause
now.
we
We're all
have
going, yeah.
we have a project that we've been working on for a while, and I had to ask him. I was like, "Do you want your own hotel room or not?"
And I said, "Yeah, I want my own hotel room."
He wants his own hotel room, and that was fine. That's
Hit
fine.
the road.
So
Hit the road, Jack.
So you, me, and George have to share one.
Oh, we'll be at our own.
Fuck you guys.
No, I thought we were gonna share the same hotel room, but 2 different rooms or whatever.
Yeah, no, we both
Sweet.
decided.
Yeah, sweet.
We're,
Not that I can sleep on the same bed. I've never really, she's the first woman that I've ever had a deep sleep with, right? But still, I sleep better alone.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? She's the first woman I feel so comfortable with, but I've never slept a wink with anybody else.
Well, I think that like any type of stimulus bothers you, any type of light coming through, any sound, you're very sensitive. Like you wake up.
Like if you
easy.
blink, I wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you're the dragon snorer.
That's fine.
I don't snore. I'm very, very quiet.
Brag and
Sleep.
snore. What's up? Right, baby?
Yeah. So to recap this, what's the future of Tiger Belly?
The future is we're going to keep going. But, what I do want to do is I want to grow the company, and I want to figure out how to do that. That's all. I want to do a clothing line. Just other things I want to do. But
Yeah. How do we end this though? Abruptly.
me
Or how about a new song?
walking.
Because
Sing
you
a
didn't
new
sing. You didn't sing a song at the beginning, so just we'll fade out a song.
Really?
A melancholy one
Made up
or
words.
hopeful.
Yeah. I will not compromise. I'll play video games as long as I want to. You wanna cuddle the pillow. If you wanna watch your show, watch your fucking show without me. You can eat at that restaurant 'cause I'm going to Morton's.
Steakhouse.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. Right. How was your date? How was your day? I'm kidding. I don't wanna know.
The end.
The end.
Wow.
All right.